Let's see how fast it can actually shoot. So this is the Glock 19 Gen 4 by Tokyo Marui. It's probably the most popular Glock on the market and probably the most popular handgun here for good reason. A lot of people like to copy T-Rex arms, and for good reason. We are the best brand, just kidding. But as you can see here, it's a 4.3 slide, full plastic build. But when the government is being tyrannical and trying to take your firearms from you and being unconstitutional, all you really have left are airsoft toys, and this is probably the best one to get. If you were to get one pistol, it would probably be the Glock 19. But anyways, I'm done with that T-Rex arms impression, guys. Let's talk about some airsoft toys. So this is the Glock Gen 4, the 19 version, the short version. And there's a reason I got this thing again. I've been rebuilding my collection, and this has been always on my mind, but they're super hard to find because a lot of people love them. And I think at the time of this recording, Tokyo Marui's batches for the year are kind of done until October, which is also when they're raising prices again. So I actually went far and wide to find this thing, and we got it. Tip to butt, slide is plastic, okay? It's a plastic slide, which means one thing. It's not gonna have that ka-ching that you guys like, but it does make it more efficient and a lot snappier. Next is the iron sights, the classic Glock iron sights. Everybody hates them, everybody loves them. They get the job done. They get the job done, and that's all you really need. You can put an optic on here if you want, but it is gonna require some modifications or getting an Aegis, like a mount from Lilacs or something like that. But I personally had no issues with the Glock sights. I'm just so used to using them. I've used a Glock for years. And yeah, there's no issues with that. The slide also has serrations if you want to do cool power slides. Let's talk about the barrel. The barrel is a non-threaded tilting barrel. Now, in real life, that matters because it handles the recoil better. But for airsoft, absolutely nothing. Absolutely no reason to do this. It's just for fun, just for funsies. It just looks cool. But yeah. If you look through the barrel, you can see the brass inner barrel, which is great Tokyo Marui spec, which is also equipped with the Tokyo Marui hop system. So no issues there. It's a great hop. In my experience in the past, they can lift 2.5s to like 20 meters. 2.0s, no problem. You can hit 30, no issues at all. It's one of the most accurate guns I've used. And yeah, man. Let's talk about the blowback system. So the blowback system is actually, they changed the cylinder out. It's a double spring system. So if I actually disassemble this really quick, let me just see here. If I disassemble it, you can actually see that there's a double spring system in there. So that actually gives it more recoil. So that's the fun part about it. Also, the trigger is actually not a true striker. It's just a hidden internal hammer. And it does have a similar plate system to the Z system where it's like nice and rolled out. So you're not damaging the parts over time. Well, obviously they're gonna get damaged, but you know what I mean? Like, it's only gonna, it's gonna reduce the wear and tear. Weird plastic sound. Let's ghost that trigger. Your hand over mine. Standard Glock. Good reset. As you can see here, there's no play. Oh, there's play, obviously, but when you get to the wall, it's very hard to distinct. Just like that. Reset is nice and clicky. It's actually, you can shoot this thing pretty goddamn fast. And that's the good thing about these plastic slides, because Tokyo Maruis have really, really fast cycle rates because of the slide being so fast. That's why these are also popular, because they're just really good for gameplay. So the Gen 4 also has these little grippies. So the little grippies is up to debate whether people like them or not. I personally don't mind them, but I can see why they got rid of them for Gen 5. In the box also comes these little beaver tail grippies. Now, I might be adding these on. I'm not sure if I want to do that yet. I've been a fan of the grippies, the little beaver tails to get that nice meat on there, but I'm not sure yet. My hands are already big, and this thing doesn't really fit in my hands to begin with, so I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing with that yet. Let's talk about the magazines. So the magazine is the exact same from last gen. It's the Gen 3 Glock 19 mags. Unlike the Glock 17, the Glock 17 had Gen 4 mags, which are slightly different, had better efficiency. And then now they have the Glock 17 Gen 5 mags with a little orange follower. Those are completely different in terms of spec. You could probably use it. I think you can. You can use Glock 17 mags with this, whether Gen 4 or Gen 5 or Gen 3. But this time around, I went for the Glock 19 mags because, I don't know, I just like to have that nice compact feeling, and we'll see how that goes from there. It does run on dust or gas, as we've said in the past, it is duster gas, and that means it's low power. It, in my experience, we'll chrono it later, it doesn't shoot that much, like 75 maybe, 75 meters per second. But this is the only gas you're allowed to use. You can't use green gas. If you use green gas, you'll probably blow this out. And it's not legal here in Japan anyway, so you can't even use it. So the whole point is to try and make this as efficient as possible using your limitations in Japan. One of my favorite things about getting a Glock 19 is it does come with these little followers. And these little followers will let you dry fire magazines, which is really cool. So what we can do is put this in, and now you can dry fire. Oh, I don't have any gas in there, but dry fire little clips are one of my favorite things to get for a Glock. So what we're gonna be doing with this, geez, the cops are coming, huh? Also, surprisingly, the gas magazines, as you can see here, have pretty good capacity, but again, they do run on duster gas. So using this, and nothing in the chamber, you can see the blowback. It's actually quite nice. Very, very nice blowback. Right? Let's see how fast it can actually shoot. Very nice, very efficient, and very fast, and which is why the Glock is so popular. It's like a video game, how fast you can shoot these things without any upgrades. It's the best stock gun you can get. Now, for those of you who think that the stock is not enough, if you live overseas or you like to min-max things, there are a few upgrades that you can do, which you are going to do for our Glock in the future. I'm not gonna show you here because that's demonetized. So what we're gonna do is just show you the parts that I'm planning to put in. So the first thing I'm gonna do is put in a Lilacs power barrel. It's a Type 4 barrel. It is 87 millimeters, and this is going to improve stability as well as beef up the FPS just a little bit. So that'll be good for like a little bit colder months and playing outdoor. After that, we have our 9-ball bucking. Put this in here with the hop unit, and you're gonna be getting much better lift, which is something you always do for like gas upgrades. Barrel bucking, everything else can kind of stay stock, but barrel bucking is probably the best thing you can do if you have to choose one upgrade. Next, we're gonna be optimizing the magazines. So the magazines are good out of the box, but with the preparation in 2024, when fluon gas runs out, we have to move on to white gas with no fluon, power goes down by like 10%. So what we're gonna do is actually upgrade these with the, where did I just put it? We're gonna be upgrading the valves. So Lilacs valves here, the Neo Rs. These are super sought after, and the MWS versions are super in demand. With these, you can basically increase your efficiency by opening and closing the valves and kind of fine tuning how much gas you wanna do. And you'll find a big performance upgrade on this. But when we do this in the next video, we'll see what the actual performance upgrades are like after putting these in. Next would be the gasket. So this actually increases the airflow more. It's a wider opening, so you're gonna get more gas output and more consistency. So gaskets are a really good upgrade for your magazines to prepare for the ban on gas. Last thing is gonna be is the non-recoil 9-ball outer barrel. So there's two good things about this. One is non-recoil, so you're not gonna be getting this tilted barrel anymore, which kind of sucks because if you like that kind of thing. But because of that, it doesn't have that rattle. It's gonna be super straight, it's gonna be very precise. The second part is that you can put a threaded suppressor on there. So that's actually very nice. But other than that, guys, this is probably the best stock pistol you can use in Japan. It's nice and small. CQB in Japan is very, very tight, so having this is very good. The last thing I'll probably put on is a flashlight. So we have our old flashlight we've been using for God knows how long at this point. And the good thing about this is that it can fit into my Omnivore. So usually the Sidecar is the best one, but the Omnivore is great. Can fit any pistol basically as long as you have the light. So if I just take this off, put this on the M17, for example, just really lightly. Now I can put the M17 in there, which is really cool. I've been using the Kydex version of that so far, but this is gonna be a great little addition. Look how cool it looks with this. But anyways, the point of this video is, if you're looking for a handgun for airsoft and you don't wanna do any upgrades to it, or you do wanna do upgrades to it, I'd totally recommend the Glock 19 Gen 4 or the Gen 3. You could also go for the 17 if you want bigger hands, but I personally like the 19. It's kind of one of a kind, and it's smaller, and it just looks cool, and it's T-Rex arms, so yeah. that's all I got for you today. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. If you guys want to see some airsoft videos, click that video right here. Peace.